Hey everybody, welcome back to the iPath YouTube channel. My name is Max, and today we're going to be discussing the difference between an adjuster and an appraiser. It can be a little confusing when you first get into the industry. You may be told that you need to go get your adjuster's license, but I'm doing auto, so am I doing an adjuster's job? Am I appraising? Am I an appraiser? What does all this mean? I'm going to try and break it down into simpler terms so that it makes sense for you as you start your journey as an IA. Now, let's first start by talking about what an adjuster is, because the adjuster is responsible for a lot of different things. It's kind of the overarching role in the claims process. Essentially, the adjuster is responsible for processing a claim. They're going to be the ones handling it from when it first gets filed to when it's finally closed. The adjuster is going to be the one that is determining liability. They're going to be determining, is this claim even valid? Does it fall under the policy limits? Is it even covered? They're going to be also the ones that are assessing the damage and coming up with the figure and then processing that until it is finally resolved and the claim is complete. Now, there are times when the adjuster is not able to complete all of those tasks by themselves. They need to bring in somebody else to help them with a certain portion of it. Usually that portion of it is going to be the actual physical appraisal of whatever is damaged. Today we're going to be discussing cars because at iPath we generally focus on auto claims. For instance, imagine you get into an accident in your vehicle. You're going to go and you're going to file a claim with your insurance company, and then the adjuster's job starts. They're going to process all the information. They're going to get your side of the story, maybe a police report. They're going to start looking over your policy, seeing what your limits are, seeing what's covered. And then after all of that has been established, they need to go out to the vehicle and do an inspection on it so they can get an initial estimate written for those damages. But what happens if that adjuster is working from a desk states away? How are they going to go out and inspect the vehicle? Obviously, it's not time or cost effective to fly that person out. No, they're going to hire an appraiser to go out and do that one specific part of the claims handling process, the appraisal. That's where somebody is going to go out. They're going to take photos of the vehicle, assess the damage, put together an estimate and a summary of what they saw, and then send it back to the adjuster so they can continue processing the claim. They can then go issue a payment to that individual for that initial estimate amount so they can then go to a body shop and get the repair process started. So this essentially means the adjuster can be the appraiser. They can go out and do the appraiser, but just because you're an appraiser doesn't mean you can handle all the other things that the adjuster has to handle. To be an adjuster, you have to have your adjuster's license. To be an appraiser, you don't necessarily have to have a license, although some companies that you work for may require it. This type of configuration is something you'll see most of the time during daily auto claims. These are kind of auto claims that come in on the daily, accidents that happen day to day, fender benders to total losses, fires, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of companies nowadays, they have people working behind the desk or maybe from their home, but obviously they can't go out and do the physical appraisal. So they hire an independent appraiser to go out and do those assessments for them. Now, when we start talking about catastrophic claims, meaning there's been a giant hailstorm or flood, and there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of claims in a small area that need to be handled, it can go either way. Either the staff employed adjuster at an insurance company can hire an independent appraiser to go do those appraisals and then send it back to them. Or sometimes the companies just need so much help that they're going to hire an independent adjuster, meaning somebody who has their adjuster's license, to handle the claim start to finish. So once again, just to clarify, the adjuster is responsible for handling the claim start to finish. Usually in daily auto claims, the adjuster is going to be a staff employed person at an insurance company, and they will hire an independent appraiser to do that one small segment of the claim, the appraisal, which is going out, inspecting the vehicle, coming up with an initial estimate for those damages, and then sending it back to the adjuster. During catastrophic claims, however, the staff adjuster at the insurance company may opt to do an independent appraisal similar to the daily stuff. Or there may be so much work that they need to hire a full-on independent adjuster who can handle the claim start to finish for the insurance company because there's just so much work. There's so many claims that need to be closed. Now, as I said earlier, the nice thing about being an appraiser is you don't have to have a license in most states to complete an appraisal. You may be asked by the IA firm, the independent adjuster firm that you work for, to have a license so that you are able to handle all sorts of different stuff. But just to do an auto damage appraisal, most of the time you do not need a license, which is nice because it makes it easier to get started. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't potentially look into getting one, because it makes you more versatile and it fills you in with a lot of the nomenclature, a lot of the procedures that an insurance company, an insurance claim, an insurance policy is going to have. And those are beneficial because you may get asked questions that you may not have the answer to if you haven't gotten through the process of getting your adjuster's license. Hopefully now you're a bit more familiar with the difference between an adjuster and an appraiser. The adjuster is responsible for a wide variety of things to make sure that claim gets closed, make sure the check gets written, whereas the appraiser is mostly responsible for the inspection and writing the estimate. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel for more free adjuster-related content. If you want to take your adjusting career to the next level, head on over to iapath.com and check out our various mentorship programs and online community. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to keep walking your path and claiming your life. We'll catch you on the next one.